Namaste, beautiful tribe. Thanks for joining me again. I'm Blake, and today I'm going to be talking about self-love and what that means to me. Self-love, I believe, is truly loving every aspect of who you are, inside and out, the good and the bad, the not so perfect or aligned aspects of us, the skeletons and shadows that we keep in our closets, so to speak. I call that aspect of us our compost. And by loving our compost, what we are doing is actually watering ourselves. And what happens when you water compost? It grows. Beautiful flowers begin to sprout out of these darker and shadow, more compost areas of ourselves, because we are loving our imperfections. And when we become in alignment with our imperfections and parts of ourselves that are not of the highest vibration, we bring them into the light. We start to see what they are there for and why they serve us, why we created these agreements with ourselves that want us to be protected and want us to be seen, be heard. And when we do that, we create these beautiful flowers because we love ourselves more, and then we're able to change these aspects of ourselves or integrate them into being this higher version of ourselves through self-love. So I've been learning a lot through Tantra. What I've been learning through Tantra is how to be intimate with myself and fall in love with myself again. I practice eye gazing in the mirror, really peering into my soul and loving every part of my body, even the imperfections of my body, parts that I feel like I'm not so happy about, and also finding ways of loving myself intimately, like learning how I want to be touched, finding ways to please myself, so I could guide another, hopefully, into how I want to be touched. And I also started, by doing this, I started feeding the vessel that I drive better. Why? Because I love myself. I want to be dating the sexiest version of myself. I want to see the highest version and best potential of who I can be. So I eat healthy, and I do yoga, and I meditate because I love it. And I speak to myself with more compassion and love. Words of affirmation, because words are spells. And I heard this quote that I love: you could only love somebody as deep as you love yourself. I want to be filled with self-love, so when I have a partner in my life, I am able to overflow this beautiful cup of love that I'm carrying, this capacity that I have to hold love that I've been expanding inside myself. I'll be able to shine on and give to another person, and also really have authentic relationships with this person, because I'm no longer scared of my imperfections. I love them, so it's going to be easier for me to speak about things that are difficult in my life right now. And someone who truly loves you is going to want to help you with that and want to work with you where you're at and meet you in your present moment for who you are, for being that authentic version of yourself. So I'm no more searching outside myself, no more filling void to try to have somebody like fill this vessel of love that I have, because I've filled it for myself. So we're going to try a little practice here with you. This is something I do every morning in my meditation, and it is beautiful, and it's just a good way to feel self-love at the end of my meditations. So what I do, and I encourage you to take your arms and wrap them around yourself. Give yourself a big hug, and then sit with yourself holding you and whisper to yourself, I love you, I am listening. Say your name. Blake, I love you, I am listening. I love you, I am listening. You'll be amazed what comes up, how your inner child shows up, and where you get to meet yourself in this moment is beautiful, because what you're doing is you're opening yourself up to love yourself at a greater capacity, without ego, without expectations. You're showing up and holding space for yourself in these moments, and it feels good, and I encourage you to do that. So I'm going to leave you with a Greek story of Ares, who is the god of war, the masculine, Mars, and Apathias, who is the feminine, Venus. And the story goes is Ares came home from war covered in blood, and this very masculine, feeling powerful, and none of the women was ever turned on to him. He was a loner. He spent a lot of his time alone, and Apathias saw him and saw this beautiful man that is going out there and protecting his community, and just really doing it out of love, but he's so in his masculine that he was not in touch with his feminine. So she offered to wash the blood off of him, and by doing that he was seduced by this feminine goddess, and they made love to one another. And what the story shows to us is the connection and balance between the masculine and feminine within us. So us as men, we have this very single focused mind aspect of understanding, of consciousness, of knowing what love is. Women have this bottom up way of feeling love, feeling the feeling of it without even having words or creating a story about it. It is simply a feeling, a knowing within their vessel and who they are. So by hearing this story, what it is teaching us is to find that balance of masculine and feminine within us, and having them come together in a harmonious way. So when we meet ourselves, our inner child, we have a strong family unit within ourselves. So we are able to love ourself, our inner child, at a greater capacity. And when we meet ourselves there, when we find our balance of our masculine and feminine inside of us and meet our inner child, the most beautiful, authentic, amazing version of yourself arises. And you no longer have to walk with fear. Fear is a friend, and anger becomes an advisor, and loneliness becomes connection to everything. And I'm just gonna leave you with that, because that is what I'm feeling self-love is to me. So thank you for listening and joining me here on this beautiful beach in Kauai, and look forward for more videos. Namaste.